Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where today we're looking at a team of players your club should be selling in the upcoming window. Goalkeeper, Keylor Navas. When Real Madrid signed Chelsea's Thibaut Courtois in the summer of 2018, it didn't look great for Los Blancos number 1, Keylor Navas. Between the sticks for their 3 successive Champions League wins and their first choice stopper since 2015, Navas has accrued 96 caps since he first travelled to the Bernabeu. Keen to reach the century mark, the Costa Rican has refused to let the Belgian's arrival end his career in the Spanish capital, stating in July that he has the same desire to leave as he has to die. Bit extreme, Keylor. But with just 2 La Liga starts this season, Real Madrid should consider upsetting their keeper if they want Courtois to flourish. Currently appearing more in the Champions League starting lineup, Real's veteran has played 270 minutes of UCL football, making 2.3 saves per 90, just under Courtois' output in the league. However, the 26-year-old will be expecting Champions League football in the long run, already on the wrong side of 30, and with Juventus reportedly hoping to give Szczesny some competition, Real would do well to sell Navas now before his value plummets with his contract ending in 2020. Defender, Mehdi Benattia. After more than 2 years with Juventus, Mehdi Benattia has clocked up a grand total of 3,300 league minutes. That sounds like a lot, but Gonzalo Higuain played nearly 3,000 for the club last season alone, despite being just 6 months younger than the Moroccan. While an excellent rotation option, Benattia has been bumped to the bench with the recent return of Leonardo Bonucci. And with talented 23-year-old Daniele Rugani in demand across Europe, Max Allegri is likely to be focused on handing the youngster minutes instead of the veteran. That's a pity, as Benattia remains an excellent defender, even at 31 years old. His anticipation has always been top class, and this season so far he leads the Bianconeri in interceptions per game, having ranked second last year and first the year before. He's deceptively strong too, winning 60% of his aerial duels compared to Bonucci's 50%, and he runs his teammates close on passing too, averaging the same completion rate on his 7.8 long balls, succeeding with 5. Tutto Mercato report that Arsenal and Manchester United are willing to spend €15 million to bring the centre-back in January, and with his contract ending in 2020, Juve might want to shift him before the summer comes and his value sinks. Defender, Nathan Akka. Nathan Akka could join the likes of Romelu Lukaku, Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne as players Chelsea have given up on too early, as the Blues eye a deal to bring him back to the bridge after selling him just 1 year ago. Joining Chelsea's academy in 2011, Akka was farmed out on loan to Reading and Watford after managing just 7 appearances in Chelsea's senior side. His loan deal to Bournemouth in 2016 proved to be a turning point for the young defender. An impressive stint on the South Coast saw the Blues recall Akka to London in January 2017, but again, chances were limited and he started just twice in the FA Cup. The following summer, the Dutchman returned to the Vitality Stadium permanently for £20 million, where his development has continued. This season, the 23-year-old has been making an average of 2 tackles and interceptions per 90 and a huge 6.5 clearances for the overperforming 6th place Cherries. His form has reportedly attracted the attention of Manchester United and Chelsea. While his departure would be a huge loss for Howe's side, it might be a smart move to sell in January when high demand and low supply might heighten the price tag. Defender, Felipe Luiz. Of Spain's big 3 clubs, Atletico Madrid have the highest average age at over 27, and it's clear that the core of Simeone's legendary defence is close to retirement. Both Juan Fran and Felipe Luiz are 33, while Diego Godin is just under a year younger, and an energetic midfield is finding itself strained with the attempt to protect the ageing backline. As these maps produced by StatsBomb show, Saul and Koke have been far more active defensively on the left this year, indicating that Felipe Luiz's decline is having a knock-on effect. And that decline is clear in the stats too. Luiz makes about 5 tackles and interceptions per game this campaign, a decent number but is worse since returning to Atleti from Chelsea, and a big drop from his rate of 7 per 90 3 seasons ago. He also dribbles less, is dispossessed more and commits more fouls than any time in the last 4 years, a worrying set of numbers. With Lucas Hernandez in the squad, Atleti need to hand the left-back spot to the Frenchman now or enter the transfer market in the winter. After his achievements in the Spanish capital, Felipe Luiz deserved to leave the Rojiblancos a hero, not a shell of his former self. Midfielder, Denis Suarez. Maurizio Sarri attempted to add Denis Suarez to his Napoli squad on several occasions. After never sealing the deal with the Little Donkeys, it looks like the Italian is trying his luck again as Chelsea boss, hoping to sign the 24-year-old midfielder in January. Having first joined the Blaugrana in 2013, the Spaniard spent the majority of his time in the development squad before being sent out on loan to Sevilla, quickly followed by a permanent move to Villarreal. However, a successful stay in eastern Spain meant that Barcelona exercised the buyback clause in his contract, signing the youngster again in 2016 for €3.5 million. Over his first term with the team, Suarez managed just 12 La Liga starts. This campaign has been limited to just 1 appearance in the Copa del Rey, looking a long way off Valverde's first-choice midfield. Now 24, Suarez doesn't have long to prove he's still an exciting prospect. Chelsea, Napoli and Valencia are currently keen to bag his signature. Now might be a good time to fly the nest if you're Denis Suarez. Midfield, Aaron Ramsey. Current Arsenal Player of the Season, 3-time FA Cup winner with 58 goals in 335 appearances, Aaron Ramsey is contractless at the end of the current campaign. After a decade in North London, stalling on contract talks led to Arsenal tearing up their offer, reportedly just as Ramsey was going to sign on the dotted line. To prevent the Welshman leaving for free in the summer, the Gunners should be looking to offload the attacking midfielder in the upcoming window. It was only 3 months ago that Unai Emery claimed the 27-year-old was an important player, capable of becoming captain. However, with just 6 Premier League starts this term, rumours of an outrageous salary demand and the development of new recruits, Ramsey might need to seek pastures new. As Ramsey heads into his late 20s and what should be his physical peak, he would be an excellent mid-season addition for plenty of European midfields. While Arsenal are in a weak position and will be forced to let him go for free in 6 months, we could see the second coming of the Alexis Mkhitaryan deal. At the time of writing, Old Trafford is favoured by the bookies as his most likely destination, and with rumours of a Mata-Ramsey swap deal gathering pace, we could be in for another weird and wonderful January transfer window. Midfield, Lazar Markovic. In 2014, Lazar Markovic joined Liverpool from Benfica for about £20 million. The Serbian right-winger started well in Merseyside, making 19 appearances in red, scoring twice and adding an assist to his game. However, a year-long loan deal to Fenerbahce for the 2015-16 season pretty much drew a line under his career at Anfield. Since then, Markovic has spent half a season at Sporting, half a term at Hull, and most recently, he was playing in the Belgian First Division for Anderlecht. And the 24-year-old has failed to force his way into any starting lineup for any of his employers. If finding a new club for the Serbian every 6 months wasn't hard enough for the Reds, Markovic gave them another reason to get rid following Liverpool's Champions League upset against Red Star. Champions League qualification was left hanging in the balance when Klopp's men lost 2-0 in Belgrade. The winger angered Liverpool fans when he showed his support for Red Star on social media after liking a tweet of Serbian flags and a love heart. Not quite the "you'll never walk alone" frame of mind expected at Anfield. Midfield, Adrien Rabiot. Midfielder Adrien Rabiot reportedly turned down 3 contract offers from PSG before negotiations between the club and player capitulated, with the league and champions supposedly telling Rabiot to find a new side. However, if the Parisian Giants want to prevent the Frenchman leaving on a free in the summer, they need to put him in the shop window come January. A regular fixture in front of Tuchel's back line, Rabiot has made 11 appearances this season. Over the past 3 years, the defensive midfielder has been averaging 4 tackles and interceptions per 90, insane figures when you consider he's playing for a side who average over 62% possession. With 2 goals already this season, the 23-year-old is obviously catching the attacking flair of his teammates and is now attempting 3 dribbles per 90 compared to the cautious 0.6 just 3 seasons ago. Still a young talent, the CIES are valuing Rabiot at €27 million, making him an attractive prospect for midfields that need plugging in January, with AC Milan and Barcelona currently keeping tabs on the contract rebel. Forward, Suso. Now valued at €50 million, AC Milan forward Suso has seen his stock double since this time last year. And while he'd be hugely missed at the San Siro, it would make sense for the Italian side to cash in now, using that $50 million to plug other gaps. At the time of writing, Suso has been directly involved in 13 goals with 5 strikes and 8 assists in just 14 games in 18-19. Suso has continually saved Gennaro Gattuso's side from danger and carried Milan to 4th spot this season. Despite being contracted at the San Siro until 2022, a release clause in his contract can be triggered in January, and reports suggest that both Chelsea and Real Madrid are keeping tabs on the former Liverpool schoolboy. With Montella and Gattuso entrusted with over €200 million in the last few transfer windows, it might be that the new manager, which could be Antonio Conte, needs to sell before he can bring in. Forward, Fernando Llorente. Scoring 29 goals in the 16-17 campaign and 30 last term, Harry Kane's name has been irreplaceable on Pochettino's team sheet. Good news for Tottenham fans who have seen North London turn lily white, bad news for Fernando Llorente, who has seen his minutes on the field crash. Last season, the seldom seen Spaniard collected just 1 Premier League start, and so far this campaign has played just 13 minutes of top-flight football, fueling reports that he's on his way out of White Hart Lane before it's even finished. Athletic Bilbao are interested in re-signing their former hero, who scored 118 in 333 games for the Basque side, especially as he's out of contract in the summer. Reports circulating suggest that signing the forward, who took them to the Europa League final, could be a propaganda stunt, with new presidential candidates promising his return should they be voted in. Llorente isn't the only Spurs player set to leave on a free after the winter window. Vincent Janssen's contract is over in 2020, and if Tottenham want to responsibly build around their new pricier wage structure, they need to avoid letting players go for free and take all the cash injections they can get. Forward, Malcolm. In the summer, Barcelona kept journalists on their toes when they hijacked Roma's deal for Bordeaux forward Malcolm. La Lupa fans were left out in the cold at the Leonardo da Vinci airport waiting for their new star when the Blaugrana unveiled the youngster at the Nou Camp on the 24th of July for €41 million. Unfortunately for the 21-year-old, stuck behind Ousmane Dembele and Felipe Coutinho, he's racked up limited minutes in La Liga and the Champions League. This is hardly enough to keep the Brazilian entertained or allow him to develop. Barcelona should be looking to cash in on their wasted recruit before his impressive displays in Ligue 1 are simply forgotten. Having caught the attention of Europe's elite following his 19 goal contributions in 35 games last term, Barca need to let Malcolm out the doors of the camp now. With Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham all rumoured to be interested, Barca are in a strong position to negotiate a deal for the youngster, who's meant to be in Catalonia until 2023. So that was our 11 players that should move this January transfer window, but who have we missed out? Let us know in the comments below, and as ever guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.